So what are you learning from these guys like the Justin Thomases of the world? I mean, I'm assuming you can sit back and kind of watch a guy like that and say, okay, here I am hanging at his house. I'm interviewing him. Then I'm going to interview Ricky before or after, whichever way it went. I can't remember. But then again, you see him on TV on a Sunday at the Masters or the PGA or whatever it be. What are you learning from those guys that you can share with our listeners that extra gear they may have that helps, whether it's on the golf course or in the boardroom?
Yeah, and talking with these guys and just being lucky enough to be around them, right? Like I'm lucky enough, I play at a golf club up here. There's 15 tour pros, and we, from world number 2, John Rahm, down the list, guys that have won
Yeah.
majors. So I'm around those guys. I've gotten to play golf with them. The thing that I noticed most in talking with them and just observing these guys, there's very little in most regards in terms of talent differential, I would argue, right? I think you have your elite guys, there's some special guys out there, right? Rory McIlroy's got talent like you can't duplicate. Dustin Johnson, some of these guys are just, you're not going to get, no matter how much you practice, they're going to have something that you don't have.
Yep.
But if you move past those top, call it 15, 20 guys in the world, from that point on, it's like these guys are more, you watch them on the driving range, you go play a few rounds of golf with them, there's not much that separates these guys, right? I mean, they can all hit it, they can all putt it, they can all chip it. Very little separates these guys in terms of like talent or skill set. I think the guys that you see that we're talking to, and the guys that find their way to the top of the world golf rankings and winning major championships and playing Ryder Cups and President's Cups, there's something inside their brain that like they have a different gear in terms of like their mental, like their mindset, right? I'll take one guy, for instance, who I play a lot of golf with out here, and that's John Rahm. He's a guy, he was world number 1 earlier in the year. He sits at world number 2 right now. But like, I don't care if you're playing John Rahm for $5 or if it's the Sunday of Augusta National, like
Right.
He wants to rip your face off and stomp on it. And if he loses, it hurts him. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like, and you just don't see that with that many guys. There's just a certain, I guess it's like a winner's mindset, you could call it, that like these guys are so driven that I think losing, pushes them to become as good as or failure, I should say, pushes them to become as good as they are, because golf is a game that can beat you up, man. No matter how good you are, you're going to have failure. You're going to have times where you're not playing well. But these guys that find their way to the top, it's more of a mindset than it is a physical thing, because so many of these guys are really good. And I've seen guys that never got a PGA Tour card, never earned a tour card, that I would stack up and say, from a talent perspective, that guy is a top 50 player in the world.
Yeah.
But yet he never got there. So
Right.
why is that, right? There's just something different. Like you look at a Kobe or a Jordan, right? Those are two guys in the NBA that would stand out. Like they just had something in the fourth quarter. Like, I ain't losing. And there's that in the golf world. Exactly. Just like a killer mentality or Mamba mentality, whatever you want to call it. I think that translates to the golf course as well. Some guys desire to be the best, just drives them no matter what. And some guys I think are totally content just to be like, I'm on the PGA Tour. I make a nice living. I'm doing what I love, but I'm not trying to be world number 1 and win. You know what I mean? They're just happy to be there, and that's fine too. But that's what separates the top guys from the 89th on the FedEx Cup guy.